me. I know you're gonna dig this.
They'll throw to second for one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tagging out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lots of room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me? I know you're gonna dig this.
They'll throw to second for one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tagging out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me? I know you're gonna dig this.
Welcome, everybody. This is K Dix. It's April the 22nd, 2024, excuse me. Dana, we're trying to get you on, but we can't get you on. Something's not working right with the StreamYard. So you might want to try to call in and see if that works for you. Or you just, Dana, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, that's good. Now it's not, you're on, but it's not showing your face on here. So apparently, so you're good. So you're good right now. All right.
Okay.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before we go on, since last Monday, Miss Vina's father has passed away. Send prayers out to her family. Her father was he coached down in York High for a long time. There's an article out there on Penn Live if you want to read about him. Also, my coworker, I think she's doing fine, but she's coming along. But then a really close friend of mine had to have emergency surgery over the weekend. He had fell at work, didn't tell nobody, and he ended up having blood on the brain. So they had to operate yesterday. He's in ICU right now. They have to do another surgery on him for his brain for the swelling for the brain to go down to put the crown back on. I don't know what type of situation or livelihood he'll have after this, but please keep him in your prayer. His name is William Perry, better known as Toogie Tug. Talk to him all the time. during the day. We talk about sports. He's a Sixer fan. He's a Dolphin fan. Philly fan. He likes everything but the Eagles. What's up? Huh? Oh, I think they're in. Oh, they might be on the bed or something. Okay. So, please keep him in prayer, man, because I found out this morning about him, and it touched my heart really hard this morning. Because usually we talk over the weekend about sports, him being a Sixers fan, and going back and forth. And sometimes I pick him up in the morning when I'm dropping my wife off from work, and I hadn't seen him in a couple of days. I called him again this morning, and he didn't answer his phone. So when I got the news, it's kind of heartbreaking for me to find out what's going on with him. But please keep him in your prayers. Let him know that we're praying for him and that he'll recover with this thing, and still have cognizance to know his whereabouts and things of that nature. All right, next up, man, is the playoffs coming up. We got a game tonight. We got the Sixers and the Knicks playing tonight. I don't think Maxi's playing tonight. I think he's underneath the weather. And B's playing tonight. So this is a do or die game for Philly. And listen to people talk. If Philly doesn't get out of this first round, they might be leading to send Embiid somewhere else, because he's been through how many coaches? So it can't be the coach. Is it him for not being healthy? There's a number of reasons why. But let's get down to the get down for baseball, as we always do. The Yankees was in first place until this afternoon. They lost to the Angels. To the Oakland Athletics, who don't have a home. Mo, they lost to them today. So Baltimore is in first place, 14-7. They won 2 games in a row. They're 7-3 in the last 10. You got the Yankees. It's tied actually, 15-8. They lost 1 game. They 5-5 in the last 10. Boston Red Sox is coming. They're in third. In the Central Division, surprisingly, the Cleveland Guardians, who are 16-6, have won 4 games in a row, 7-3 in the last 10. I think they have the best record in the majors all over. Even
this call may be recorded or transcribed.
And then you had the Kansas City Royals, who are 13-9, playing some good baseball right now. Lost 2 in a row. They 5-5 last 10. Tigers are 12-10. In third place. Minnesota and White Sox pulling up the rear. In the West, Texas Rangers are 12-11. They won 1 game in a row. They're 5-5 last 10. Seattle Mariners 11-11. They doing their thing. They getting back. They're won 1 game, 7-3 in the last 10. You got the Los Angeles Angels, who are 9-13. Lost 4. They're 3-7 in the last 10. Then you got Oakland, and you got the surprising Houston Astros in the bottom. But you never know about the Astros, what they're gonna do. In the National League, in the East, you got Dana's Atlanta Braves 14-6. They lost 1 game. They're 7-3 in the last 10. You got the Philadelphia Phillies, who two teams were 14-8. They won 6 in a row. They're 8-2 in the last 10. The New York Mets, who took 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers out on the West Coast, 12-9, lost 1 game. They're 8-2 in the last 10. You got Washington following them, and you got the Marlins following them. In the Central Division, you got the Milwaukee Brewers at 14-6. They won 4 games. They're 7-3 in the last 10. You got the Chicago Cubs, who are 13-9. I'm sorry, not the Mets, but was it the Mets? No, the Cubs was the ones. Mets. I think Dodgers played the Mets. I think it was the Mets. Or the Cubs. I can't remember. One of those teams. The Cubs are 13-9. Lost 1 game, 64 in the last 10. Cincinnati Reds are 12-9. Won 3 in a row. They're 64 in the last 10. You got the Pirates. And you got the Cardinals coming up the rear. Out west, you got the Dodgers 13-11. They won 1 game, they're 3-7 in the last 10. You got the Padres at 12-12. Won 1 game, 64 in the last 10. You got the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are 11-12, and they won 1 game, they're 5-5 in the last 10. You got San Francisco, and you got the Colorado Rockies coming in the rear. I don't understand the Rockies. They did win a World Series, right? And since then, they haven't been really competitive at all. I'm just trying to figure this thing out with them. Like, was it a gimme for them to win the World Series and get them out the way as expansion team? And now they got to fight for everything else. No team could be in the basement that long, in my opinion. You know, I think they've probably been in the basement longer than any team in any division that I could think of. Mo,
What are you talking about?
the Colorado Rockies.
Did they actually win World Series?
I think they did win the World Series.
I know the Diamondbacks did, but I'm not pretty sure about the Rockies.
I think the Rockies did win the World Series. A while ago. I think not too long after they came into the league. Am I right or wrong, guys? Can somebody help me out with that one?
The Rockies have not won a title yet.
Okay. But did they get to the World Series and lose?
They were in the World Series in 2007.
Okay, so they went to the World Series and lost. Okay.
They got swept by the Red Sox.
They got swept by the Red Sox.
Okay, so it seemed like but like they're like ever since then they've been just bottom feeders, man. If you look in every division, nobody's been in the bottom of the division to me longer than the Rockies. And maybe you might throw the White Sox in there a little bit, but like in the East, you got Tampa Bay down at the bottom right now, but Toronto's been down there a lot. Orioles down there a lot. You look at the Central, you had the White Sox has been down there a lot. Kansas City has been down there a lot. In the Texans, Oakland's been steady down there in a lot. You know, Angels been steady down in a lot. You look at the East, the Nationals been down there. Marlins was doing pretty good last year, but they're right there now. You look at the Central Division, you look at it teeter-totter between Cincinnati and the Cardinals, the Pirates, but never consistently being last. But in the West, the Colorado Rockies always end up in last place. And I don't know if it's management, or I don't know if it's the players, the manager, or it's the management that can't get this thing right with Colorado Rockies. But hopefully they can get this thing right and have a better season. I know as far as the Dodgers are concerned, Shotani did something. He broke the home run record for a Japanese player against the Mets or Cubs, whoever they played the last game. They won 10-0. So hopefully they can build on top of that, because watching them play over the weekend, man, they was leaving guys on. I know one game they had to have left about 10 guys on base. They probably had bases loaded 3 times in the one game that they lost 6-4. Bats is not hitting right now, so hopefully that'll get better for them going forward. Let me see here. So Matthew, what you got for Seattle? Anything good for Seattle?
A lot of good things for Seattle in the last week. 3-game sweep against the Reds, which was very surprising to me. I was actually on the phone asking my father about it, because he's a Reds fan, and I'm like, "What'd you think of that sweep?" And he's like, "I'm expecting that." And I told him I was only expecting 1 win against the Reds. And he's like, "Oh, really?" And then Friday night, this game was postponed, so yesterday they had a doubleheader with the Rockies due to snow. Which is very surprising. You'd think with baseball you get postponed for lightning and stuff, but not snow. But they were able to play Saturday in the snow, and then Sunday they got the doubleheader run.
Okay. Mo, what you got for them Yankees, man? What's going on with the Yankees?
Sorry, the bats are frozen, just like I was for a second there. We can't hit anything. We lost to Oakland 2-0. We have gone through, I think, 2 games in a row where we didn't score a run in 9 innings. It's terrible, man. It's just bad. The pitching has actually been good. The bullpen has been okay.
The bullpen has been okay.
The bats are cold. The only thing that's
That's
hot
a
in
cold.
New
The
York
only thing
right
that's
now
hot in
is the
New York
pizza.
right now is the pizza.
Is the pizza. Curry and Dana, both of you guys like the Braves, but I'm gonna ask Curry, what you thinking about the Braves right now? How they looking? What's going on with them? You know they did lose one of the aces, but how they looking?
I think the Braves gonna be all right. I've been out of pocket on baseball for the last couple of days, so I haven't really kept up with just the scores, but you heard it. So I think a lot of things are thinking on long winning streaks. The cream will always rise to the top of the baseball.
Right. Dana, let me unmute you, Dana. Okay, Dana, what you got for anything else you got for your Braves before we move on?
We've been coming along. Well, we just lost one of our pitchers for the season. So, I mean, the games that I watch halfway through, they do pretty good. If they're losing, they'll probably lose, but losing by 2, but they come back to win. They like the comeback team this year. Decent comeback team this year. For the couple of games that I have watched, due to all the family stuff going on. That's all I have for the Braves, but we're looking pretty good right now. They always look good early anyway.
Let me ask you guys a question. It seems like whenever I watch the Dodgers play, I'm like bad luck, and they end up losing. Do y'all guys ever get that feeling when y'all watch your team play?
Sometimes when I watch the Lakers play,
that's because the Lakers suck.
It never fails when I watch the Dodgers.
I've been away for a while.
I can really go in hard today. You just like the ghost in the machine today.
Oh my God. It's so weird though when the Dodgers come on, because they don't really come on that much. But now that I got YouTube television, I get the chance to watch them more now than before. I be like, man, if they win, I said, let me stop. Let me not even watch the game. And even though they won last night, I try to go to quick pitch. Quick pitch wasn't even on yesterday, which pissed me off. But I guarantee you, if the Dodgers would have lost 10-0, they quick pitch would have had them on there in a fast, quick, in a hurry. So that's what's going on in baseball. Now, I've been trying to get to this topic for like the last month or so. Jersey retirements. I need to get you guys feel on this situation right here. Are you guys okay with your jersey being retired? If you're a professional athlete, are you okay with your jersey being retired, or would you rather have your jersey not retired so somebody else can wear that jersey? I'm gonna start with Lou first. Lou, what's your thoughts on that situation? How you feel about jerseys being retired?
Well, I know there's both ways. It's a great honor of your jersey. You really want to. I didn't really have any objection if anybody else would want to wear the jersey. I guess because they want to play who was there. I think that's their way of doing that. So I know that as well. No, I think it's a great prize. A team.
Okay. Dana, what's your thoughts on Dana disappeared on us. Curry, what's your thoughts on jerseys being retired? If you was a professional athlete, would you want your jersey retired, or would you want somebody to keep wearing it?
Well, I guess if I was a professional athlete, then I'd be looking at it from a personal standpoint. Yes, I would probably want my jersey retired because if you look at it, not very many jerseys per team actually gets retired anyway. Only the Cowboys people retire jerseys. If you look at it, like I say, not many teams retire jerseys anyway. So I'm okay with them retiring a personal jersey for that simple reason. It's just not that many.
Okay, Mo, what's your thoughts?
On jersey retirement. Sorry,
Jersey
I
retirement.
was frozen again, like the Yankee bats.
Again, like the Yankee bats.
I like the way that the
like the
Cowboys
way
keep
that
number
the
88
Cowboys keep number 88
available for the best wide receiver.
available for the best wide receiver.
But at the same time, if I'm a
At the same
Hall
time, if I'm
of Fame
a
All
Hall
Pro
of Fame
player,
All
I
Pro
don't want to see
player,
anybody else
I
wearing
don't
my
want to see
jersey.
anybody else wearing my jersey.
So if I'm the
So
Steelers
if I'm the
who
Steelers
just take
who
jerseys out of
take
rotation and barely
jerseys out of
retire people, I
rotation
think
and
we have
barely
3
retire
retired
people, I think we
numbers.
have 3 retired numbers.
It's kind of messed up though,
Kind of messed up
because we're going to
because
retire those
we're going to
jerseys
retire those
after
jerseys
people
after
pass away.
people pass away.
Think about what happened with Franco.
Think about what happened with Franco.
He passed away the week
He passed
that it
away
actually
the week
happened.
that it actually happened.
Right.
You got to give people their flowers
You got
while
to
they're
give people their
alive.
flowers while they're alive.
Okay.
Terry Bradshaw should be
Terry
retired.
Bradshaw should be retired.
All of ours should be retired.
All of ours should be
I'm gonna let
retired.
him
I'm
stay.
gonna let him stay.
Okay. Okay. Dana, what's your thoughts on retiring jersey numbers? Are you okay with that? Or do you think that it should let the jersey stay?
I think it's kind of like what most do. Like how they see the 88.
The 88.
Like special players to get special numbers. But it's just like nobody, like also something like the first 2 years. Like if the guy didn't improve, we take the jersey away. And if it was like Deion Sanders, we retired the jersey so nobody can claim the jersey anymore.
Okay. Okay. Matthew, what's your thoughts on retiring jerseys?
I feel like it should happen as long as the stat lines and history of that player on that team is correct. And between that and being with the team for the entire career. Like, for example, Dirk Nowitzki was with the Mavericks for his whole career, so I believe he should have his jersey retired. But other than that, if you haven't been on a team for your whole career, I don't believe that jersey shouldn't be retired.
So, Matthew, let me ask you a question. How long do you think a player should be on a team before his jersey can go up into the Raptors?
I feel like at minimum 10 years.
Okay. And anybody else agree with that 10 years or disagree with that 10-year mark?
I think you've had players like Luke Kuechly and what's the dude from San Francisco? Played like 7 years.
Because performance-wise, it may not take you 10 years to establish yourself as that elite player. But if you look at, like, say, Jim Brown, he didn't play 10 years. Should his jersey be retired? Yes. But I think you got to look at what the performance was, and I base it off that more so than I would years. But I wouldn't want to say give a guy 2 or 3 years and then retire his jersey.
Right. And I agree with you on that, Curry. We got another caller on the line. I don't see your number, but they're from VA. Can you tell us who you are? Okay, so we know who that is. Okay, so we'll get rid of that person again. And then I'll check the number later on today, find out who it was that called. So I get Curry and Matthew made up some great points. Go ahead, Mo.
I just want to say this one quick thing.
Kuechly.
And Patrick Willis only played it.
Say that again.
Luke Kuechly for Carolina. Patrick Willis, San Francisco only played 8 years. Them are going to make the. I think both of them will get their. I don't agree with 10 years. I'm thinking about 7 years.
Okay, and 10 years I think is a little bit long. and the concept of maybe getting your number retired. I think 10 years is long enough to get you into the Hall of Fame. But you think about how fast guys move around the league now and move from place to place to place. So it's kind of hard for them to stay somewhere. Like I'm gonna give you, for example, like Kevin Garnett. I mean, not Kevin Garnett, but Kevin Durant. When he goes into the Hall of Fame, what team is he going? What team will he select to go in the Hall of Fame with? He's been with OKC. He's been with Golden State. He's been with the Brooklyn Nets, and now he's with the Phoenix Suns. He's been with 4 different teams. So, what team does he select to represent the Hall of Fame? You know,
I would say the team he won the championship with.
But now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think he's still if Kevin Durant had not won a championship, do you think he still would be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now the reason I'm saying that because that eliminates Golden State as his team that he could pick, because I still think.
But I will not retire the jersey though.
Well, no. That's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. As far as his retired jersey, but I just want to throw that out there because he's been with 4 different teams. So now, what team does he select to go into the Hall of Fame with? Because they do count him up. All right. So you guys bring up a lot of good points about the jersey thing. I thought that I used to think that retiring a jersey was the best thing since sliced bread. Because you get your accolades, you see your name up in rafters, you see your names on the wall, you see your number on the wall, and you know nobody else would ever wear that number. But when you take in consideration Michael Irvin saying that there's always going to be a conversation about 88, right? So now the conversation you may have is like, well, who's the best? Who was the best player for the Dallas Cowboys that wore 88, right? Young people may say, what's the guy? Oh man,
That's Bryant.
Des Bryant. Some young people may say that Des Bryant was the best one to wear 88. Me personally, me and Curry, you may say that Drew Pearson was better. There's some people may say that Michael Irvin was better. You know, young people may say CeeDee Lamb is going to be the best to wear 88. So you get an opportunity to have a conversation or a debate about wearing 88, where if the number's retired, only person they're going to relate that number to is going to be, let's say, Drew Pearson, right? But at some point in time, somebody's going to forget about Drew Pearson. Or let me just go back. I'm gonna use JoJo White, number 10 for the Celtics. At some point in time, people are gonna forget about JoJo White, and they'll go back and YouTube it, or video watch it, or whatever the case may be, to see how good he was because his numbers in the rapture. But there can never be an argument that there's not enough. He's the best number. He's the best player to ever wear number 10 for the Boston Celtics. So I'm on the side of not retiring numbers because now you can have a conversation about who's the best player that wore number 6 for the 76ers. Who's the best player for the Lakers who wore 23? So you still have these. You can still always have these conversations going on and on and on. So that's why I kind of like what Michael Irvin said about 88 never being retired, because his name's always going to be mentioned in the conversation when you talk about number 88. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talk about number 13 for the Miami Dolphins, you know, Dan Marino, nobody's going to ever wear 13 again, right? But at some point in time, people are going to forget about Dan Marino. They're going to be like, well, who's Dan Marino? And it's not on purpose, but it's the same scenario as kids that wear Michael Jordan sneakers right now who've never seen Michael Jordan play basketball. They're like, Mike played basketball? I thought he made sneakers. You know what I'm saying? The average person that don't watch basketball, you know, they wear Michael Jordans. They know through conversation, but some of them probably have never seen them play basketball before. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That sometimes. Go ahead, Lou.
the younger generation had to live through it to see.
Right.
They only know sneaker bands and whatnot. I mean, with the exception of two people I know on that generation, most kids think, oh, these are my favorite sneaker bands. I honestly very tired. How do you think you got it? You gotta go back and know your history.
Exactly.
That's what the kids forget.
And the same thing with Jim Brown's number 32. Has he did great things? For Cleveland Browns, yeah, he did. But let's take for example, 42 in baseball would never be worn by anybody else in baseball. But he's always going to be in the conversation because of Black history, because of Jackie Robinson Day, because of all the things he did outside of baseball that made him really irrelevant towards baseball. Is why we're always going to remember who Jackie Robinson is, number 42. We'll never forget him because we're going to be reminded every year of baseball season start about Jackie Robinson, number 42. So that's a different scenario. But again, I think that sometimes everybody's number shouldn't be retired. Like if you take the Boston Celtics, right? If you look at it right now, if Boston wins 1 or 2 titles, or maybe 3 with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you can almost guarantee you that their numbers are going to be put in the rafter, right? So now you don't have a 1.
Brown going in the rafters, baby.
You got
Brown.
You don't have a 3, right? Don't have a 4. I think they do have 4. I think they have a 4.
4 was Isaiah.
5
was Isaiah.
5's in the rafter. 6 is in the rafter. 7's not. 8's not. And 9's not. And 10 is. But just think about this though. You go play for the Celtics, they give you a number of 98. That ain't your favorite number. Your favorite number may be 15. Can't wear that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already retired. So again, it always brings up a good conversation that sit around the table, a conversation that you have with your peers about who's the best player to wear that number. Somebody on the live said, "Hello guys, you think US is going to push more soccer scoring for Messi to join us?" Matthew, are you a soccer guy?
I am to an extent.
Can you want to answer this? You want to answer Glenn B's question?
Oh yeah. So with Messi joining with MLS this year, his first full season. For you guys that don't know, Miami does have a professional soccer team. Definitely going to be interesting to see what they do. Once they get into their main part of the MLS season, as they're still currently in tournament mode. But for the most part, we'll keep an eye on them throughout the season.
Okay.
Say something to that.
Something to that too. Go ahead, Mo.
The one thing you got to think about is this is Olympic year. One of the biggest sports in the Olympics is always going to be soccer. But we still do track and field before soccer. Soccer will never be as big in the U.S. here as it is internationally. It's always going to fall behind football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. Where it's the number one sport in the world. The USA is always going to try and push it because we want it to be a bigger sport here. But it goes against everything that the USA stands. We changed it from kilometers to miles. We use pounds instead of kilograms. We drive on the right side of the road instead of the left. And we don't care about what everybody else in the world thinks. We care about because we're the U.S. and we're the best country in the world. Not to say anything against soccer, but we also made them change it to soccer from football. So it's football everywhere else. But you know what? That's what we do as Americans. And the even worse thing about it is South America. Football is the number one sport. But in America, because we're in North America, United States of America, it's soccer.
Okay. Can you please fix the double sound? I can't follow it. I apologize for that. We've had problems with this for so long, and we just can't find out what's wrong. While we get the echoing, we just can't figure that thing out. So we'll apologize for that, Glenn B. But hopefully you keep following us, keep asking questions, and we'll keep trying to answer the best way we know how. Next up, guys, is the playing game, and there was a guy that said whoever made the playing game should be fired. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to be considered a hater, but I know that he's used the playing game for the last 2 years to get into the playoffs. And I'm gonna say my spiel and let you guys say your spiel. I don't like the playing game at all. I don't care if it were to benefit my team or not. I don't like it because what you don't get is you don't get the 110% you should get during the season of the 82 games or even the 65 games that you have to play to qualify to be in the award ceremony or whatever award you want to get. 6-man, rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, whatever the case may be. I don't like it. Golden State was in a playoff playing team. Would the playoffs be better with Golden State and making it in the top 6? Of course it would be. Would the Lakers would the playoffs be better if the Lakers were in the top 6? Of course it would be, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they're the teams that people love to hate, and you want to play against them when it matters most. But as we've seen recently, the playing team, which is the Miami Heat, came into playing last year, and they ended up going to the East, NBA Finals last year. In spite of Jason Tatum spraining his ankle, because if he doesn't sprain his ankle, and I'm not saying if, I'm saying it, I'm saying in spite of him spraining his ankle, I think they lose and Boston goes to the finals against Denver. But that was not the case. But this year it backfired again, because if he played like he's supposed to play during the season, they're one of the best 6 teams in the NBA in the East, in my opinion, right? But they took time off to do this, took time off to do that. Same with the Lakers and Golden State. Now Golden State has some problems with Draymond not being there, and they lose some games because of him. But they did better with him at the end of the season without him. The Lakers basically played. LeBron probably played more games, more minutes this year than he played in a long time. The same thing with Anthony Davis, to get them into that 8th spot, right? So they really wasn't in the playing game, but they was in the playing game. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, though, I think that because of entertainment, this is why they brought it on. Were we excited this year to see what we saw? Of course we were. We liked it a little bit. Because 2 teams that we love to hate knew that one of them wasn't going to get in, right? And we know even with Golden State, any given day, Curry can give you 50 piece and put you to sleep, right? So now Curry on the sideline looking at everybody doing their thing other than him. The Lakers have drawn the Denver Nuggets, who they have not beaten in 2 years now. They're 0-9 to that team. And they'll probably be 0-14 when it's all said and done with, because I don't see the Lakers beating Denver at all. They look really tired, really tired. But again, I think if you play your 65 games plus at a high level, at the end of the season, you're a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seed, and you ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying to us oh, I'm not worried about playing. I'm not worried about the playing game. It's one or two games, and I'm gonna get in regardless. But then you get in, you gotta play the top seeded team. And if you look out west, everybody was jockeying to get to certain team. Even with the Knicks, they were trying to jockey to get to the Knicks. And I'm gonna say this: Knicks is the only team that scares me in the East, to be honest with you, because they never ever give up. They never ever give up, right? Out west, everybody jockeying to get to Oklahoma City, to get to get to Minnesota. And as we're seeing right now, everybody got blown out except for the Oklahoma game. We came down to the last two possessions, which was a great game. You know what I'm saying? And the problem with the young teams is that they don't know how to play half-court offense like this in the playoffs because it's a whole different atmosphere. And if you guys look at how they're calling fouls now, it's completely different from how they called them during the season. They like, oh, we're gonna let y'all play right now. We're gonna let y'all play. Since okay, we're not gonna call that ticky-tack foul no more, but we're gonna let you play. But again, I don't like the playing game because you had two great teams. One great team teeter and totter inside and out. With two great teams. You got Minnesota and talking about Golden State that teetered in and teetered out of it. You had the Houston Rockets who almost got into the playing game, which team lost almost 50-some games last year, who ended up being 42 and 42 or 40 and 42, something of that nature. And so that lets you know that the West is going to be even tougher next year. You know what I'm saying? So I think that going forward next year, you're going to see more teams fighting to get to that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spot and not play that playing game because anything can happen. Anything can happen. Look at Miami now. You know, Jimmy Butler, if Miami plays hard during the season, they're not even in this situation. You know what I'm saying? They're in 1 through 6. But no, they thought they figured this thing out. And now that Jimmy Butler's not playing, they're not going to beat Boston. And Boston shouldn't lose a game to Miami at all. They should sweep Miami in 4. And if they don't, that's embarrassment to them because they don't have Rozier or Jimmy Butler, who you're looking at almost a combined of 35, 40 points between the two. You know what I'm saying? So Miami have to dig deep down inside them to win a game against the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics should not lose a game to them at all. But again, my thing with this playing is nice, it's fun, but the problem is that you got great teams that wants to play just to get in there. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that doesn't make sense. Play with your potential. And I don't care what anybody say. Tom Thibodeau is one of the greatest coaches out there. He may work you hard in practice, but you know what though? New York is a team that's not going to give up. They're going to come at you. Miami's the same way, but now Miami don't have their 2 starters. And people are going to sit and say that New York don't have Randall, but they made adjustments to this point to play without him. So they should be okay with it. You know? So that's my whole thing right there is that I don't care too much. I don't care too much for the playing game because it doesn't represent a true playing team. Like if Houston gets into it, okay, I'm cool with it because now they're getting the experience to play. They got 1 game like in college, 1 and done. If you don't win, you're done. If you win, you move on. And let's say they get the number 1 seed. Now they're getting the younger teams getting the playoff experience that they need to move on to the next move to get better for next year. The Los Angeles Lakers are not going to get any better next year. They don't have any money, right? And so they probably going to have the same team they have this year, regardless of how it ends up with Denver, because they haven't beat Denver in 2 years. So who can they bring in that's going to change that scenario to make them a better team than what they are right now without them giving up what they already have? You see what I'm saying? So that's the issue I have with that team right there. So that's my issue with the playing. Mo, give me your take on the playing game.
The what? play-in game? That thing that doesn't exist that
Yep.
LeBron James wants to get rid of?
Oh, was it LeBron who said that?
Yeah, it was LeBron. It was LeBron.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
You hater.
Jordan never won any play-in games.
Games.
So LeBron's better than him
So
because of that.
LeBron's better than him because of that.
Seriously though, I actually love it. And the reason I love it is because you have an opportunity to still get in as the 10th seed. You got an opportunity to be out as the 7th seed. So that means you got to play your butt off at the end of the season to make sure you get into the playoffs. Why not, man? I say every team should make the playoffs. Like we talked about, there should be a winners bracket and a losers bracket. We talked about for the first pick.
I totally agree.
Why not have extra basketball? Let the teams make more money. Let the cities still go to games a little bit longer. Oh, it's actually better than baseball now. I used to be football, baseball, and basketball. Now it's football, basketball, baseball. If the hockey wouldn't have hit the black dude in the head, I might would have stayed as a hockey fan. I was a Penguins fan back then. But after that, nah. Man, I didn't even watch soccer before I watched hockey.
Oh Lord!
And I said it right. I said soccer. I didn't say football. I said soccer. That's how we care about it. Just like I hate the USA hates football. Because we got football. Sorry, I know I went off topic.
Dana,
I love it.
Dana, what's your thoughts on the play-in game?
Okay, I love it and hate it. I hate it because LeBron hated it. But he sounded like a hypocrite. Like he didn't want to play the game. I guess he thought he was never going to slow down. The team was going to slow down. But I like it because the Lakers are in there. I mean, you never know. They might turn it around. But I hate it and love it. If my team get in, I love it. If they don't get in, I hate it.
All right. Curry, you want? I know you don't watch a lot of NBA, but you want to comment on this?
Yeah, I'd like to know before they did that play, and it just extra games. And like you said, if they play the game to win, while you got a chance before the season ends, Miami could have locked that thing up a long time ago. But Jimmy Butler, he take time off and personal reasons and things like that. And that's one of the reasons I don't follow the NBA as much, because, I mean, what is up with this load management stuff, And I know it's a different subject and a different subject for a different day. But, if I buy a ticket to go see the Lakers play, and I buy that ticket 2 months in advance, and I find out LeBron ain't playing. He's not hurt. He just ain't playing. But a play-in, they should can that.
Okay. Lou, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, seems to be a lot of that now. The NFL has a long time to play in contract, playing again in the NCAA tournament. Baseball probably still fall. So it's really it's not a new concept. It does give your team ownership thing of what's on the outside looking in, and you got to give them that one final push to make it. So yeah, I have no problem against it. It's not like you're 35 games down, have no chance at all to make it. At least you're doing good. You do good things like you just go just too short. You're right the nice place to make it. So I think it's a more fair, balanced way to get. I think to make it out big playoff.
Okay, Matthew. Last but not least, what's your thoughts, Matthew?
I'm starting to like it a little bit more than when last season, just because we've seen two teams that we usually see in the Western Conference Finals but this year they were in the play-in, and it was a game of how bad do you want it, and the Lakers want it more than Golden State did. Now, that doesn't mean the Lakers are going to win outright. It just means that they just won bad spots so badly compared to Golden State, who just played where we can't get there all the way, so we're just going to tap out, and we're going to give it to the Pelicans.
Okay. All right, give me a second, guys. So I get your senses, what you're saying. And again, like Dana said, he likes it and he loves it because the Lakers got the Lakers were already in this year. They had the A spot, but they had to play in to find out who they're gonna play, and they end up playing Denver Nuggets, right? But they were close to losing. If Zion doesn't get hurt, I think the Pelicans win that game, and the Lakers might have got eliminated. In my personal opinion, I think that could have been the case. They got lucky on that one right there because Zion got hurt. And again, I'm saying this. You look at the playing game, Zion was healthy enough to play that game, right? He probably had to score at least 40 points for them to win. He's on his way to doing that. But he pulled a hamstring. I don't understand how you pull a hamstring at the latter part of the season that means you're not in shape. That's what I have a problem with. Because now the Pelicans has moved on. He can't play because he pulled a hamstring. Miami plays on. They can't play because MCL tear for Butler. But if they like Curry said, and I said, if they would have played the season out, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in right now, and he probably wouldn't have been hurt, right? So again, you try to outsmart the smarters, and you got outsmarted yourself. Again with Zion, he got to get healthy. He got to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy in order for the Pelicans to be the best they could be with him on their team until he figured out if he wants to stay or if he wants to go. With Miami, there's going to be some movement going on. I'm going to say this. I honestly believe this. If Milwaukee ends up losing the series to the Pacers for some ungodly reason, I don't think Giannis or Damon will be in Milwaukee after the season. I think Miami really wants him, and Miami has to go and give up. They're going to give up a lot to get him because they're not going to get that. You look at what Milwaukee gave up to get him. So Milwaukee going to want something back in return. They're going to want some young legs. So it kind of will defeat Miami's purpose unless they can find somebody else they can bring into the fold to make them a better team with Damian and Jimmy down there. But I don't know if he wants to stay in Milwaukee because it gets kind of cold in Milwaukee. And they were talking about how he didn't play up to par during the season because his family wasn't with him. He's going through a divorce. He misses kids. Nobody vacations in two places. Nobody vacations in Cleveland. Nobody vacations in Milwaukee, right? But I don't care what nobody say. Last night, 35 points in the first half. I don't care. I don't know who was there with him, but he was on fire that first half. And without him being on fire, Milwaukee loses that game because the Pacers wasn't giving up. You got teams now that can shoot the three really, really good, and they're going to keep shooting them until they start making them. And when they start making them, it's going to be a whole different story, just like with Boston. I was so mad with them yesterday, how they up 34 points, and they just got lackadaisical at playing. This is why I don't think this team will be one of the great, even if they win the title, that they will never be, to me, the greatest team, one of the greatest teams that the Boston Celtics have ever had. They will be nowhere close to being as good as the 1986 team. They won't be nowhere close to being better than the 2018 because They going to step on your neck. They're going to pound you. If we up 34, we want to be about 50 at the end of the game. We want to let you know that we ain't going nowhere and we're going to pound you. But you allowed them to get back in the game on a 27-6 run. Coach didn't call a timeout. I didn't like that at all. That's the part that I still have not seen the Boston Celtics have a signature win this season that tells me, okay, we're ready. We're ready for this thing. We're ready. We're ready to make this thing happen. What y'all think about LeBron James? Will he be a junior, be a superstar soon? Anybody? The question, Dana, is what y'all think about LeBron James Jr.? Will he be a superstar soon? Dana, you want to answer that question for us?
Well, I hate to break his heart, but he's just gonna be mediocre. We gotta wait to see what that youngest one's gonna do. Bryce is the monster. I think Bronny just wants like the TikTok and Facebook stuff, and he was for that. I don't think he in the ball playing, but you have to just look out for the heart condition, and just with the heart condition at that time. But I think like after that, he really kind of lost. I guess he can find a way to work it back. If he has his father's genes, he might be able to work something, but I don't think he'll be as good as his father. I just think he'll be a decent player now.
Anybody else want to answer the question? What y'all think about LeBron James Jr.? Will he be a superstar soon? It's from Marvis Von Epp. Any comments?
Better be better as a pro than a college player.
He hasn't been a great college young for long. I think it's got to be a long time for this. He's going to superstar. Plus, that's good of the education of his dad. I mean, if they're saying about 5 years boy, I mean, he's got a long way to go too. I mean, he's nowhere near the system, with fathers. It's very tough to, people do the success of your dad, your mom, or whatever. That's a lot to live up to. I don't see him becoming a superstar. He's not running away. Anything, he stays too long enough, and the culture where maybe he might be. So anyway, right now, don't see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I don't think he'll ever get to the superstar status. And I'm surprised. I'm really disappointed in LeBron James because I thought LeBron was better than this. This is all about ego. This is an ego trip for LeBron because he wants to be the first player to play with your son in the NBA. This is why he's staying in the NBA so long. This is why he's taking care of his body as well as he's doing it, right? But as we can see in this series against Denver right now, he's having problems, right? He's having problems. Now, the air in Denver is thin, so he don't have to worry about that nowhere else but in Denver. But I just think he's going about this the wrong way. You let your son enjoy being a child as long as he can. And nobody's gonna think less of you, LeBron, if you don't get a chance to play with your son. And I know how much you want to play with your son. I can only imagine. I would probably feel the same way you felt. But I'm not jeopardizing my son's health for it. I'm not going to jeopardize my health for it. If I can still get out there and play, I will play. If he can play, he can play. But don't try to force the hand. Don't try to force the NBA's hand to say that he's entering a draft, right? And only team that's going to draft him might be the Detroit Pistons, right? So they want you to come play for the Detroit Pistons. Are you gonna give up 55? If you're gonna give up 50 $1 million to go play somewhere else other than LA, I don't think so because you love money too much. You love money too much. So I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't like what he's doing to his son, and I wish his son the best of luck. If you think about the time he started playing basketball at 5 years old, and he's 17, 18. He's been playing basketball for 12 years already, all year long, nothing else but basketball. He ain't ran no track. He ain't playing no football. He ain't playing no soccer. He ain't playing no volleyball. He won on a swim team. So the muscles in his body are not the same as it would be for somebody that's played sports all year round, different types of sports because you work on your body. Young people, if you don't understand what I'm saying to you, There's 2 sports that you can play that helps you with every sport other than that. If you're on a swim team or if you're on a track team, they work muscles that other parts of your body don't get worked. If you play baseball, if you play basketball, if you play football. So if you swim and you run track, you'll be better at basketball, you'll be better at football, and you'll be better at basketball, football, and baseball. And even if you play soccer, you'll be better at football because soccer can give you quick feet. So young people understand that. I know you have a lot of parents out here that have kids that play one sport all year long. When do you give your body time to rest from playing that sport? And the other muscles are not getting the attention they need to get because you're playing one sport. So I know I got off of what he said, what he asked, but again, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a superstar. I don't think he's going to last in the league because if you can't last in college, where you're playing against guys that are walk-ons, you got to play against some guys that got scholarships. You playing with some guys that got walk-ons. You playing with some guys that transfer, and you can only average 5 points a game. That's not a good look. And I know LeBron said he wants him to go somewhere where he can be a leader and he can be a starter. And I understand that. So I mean, Duquesne's name came up, then Penn State's name came up. So I don't know where else his name's going to come up as far as college is concerned, because now we know what LeBron's end game is with his son. When it comes to being in pros. All right, next up, guys, is Joel Embiid. Like I said, I don't like the Sixers, but I respect them. But the problem I have with Joel Embiid is that Joel Embiid had promised another country that he would play in the Olympics for them. And now they're mad. Let me read this article to you. Knicks boss Frederick Wise hate Joel Embiid for spurning the France for U.S. in the Olympics. He is a dirty guy. Frederick Wise is quite upset with Joel Embiid, the former Knicks first-round bust and the poster boy for one of the most disrespectful and greatest dunks of all time. Went scorch earth 76ers star Joel Embiid, and it had nothing to do with ongoing Knicks and the Knicks in the Sixers playoff. Wise beef with Embiid stems from his choice of playing for Team USA over Team France. Despite Embiid being a citizen of France just 2 years ago, he's so upset that he joked, according to European Net, that he wants Embiid banned from the country. I consider this boy. He says, I consider this boy a great player as much as a dirty guy. I hate him for the things that he did. Wise said on the radio show on French station RMC, as transcribed in Europe Hoops Net. I think he doesn't have any respect for France and also for all the people who are asking for French passports and don't get it. And under the pretext that he's a great athlete, he got it. I find it scandalous. I find it embarrassing. I don't care about his excuses because they're all just words, and his words mean nothing. He added in what described as a joke tone, I would take away his French nationality and I would ban him from entering France. You will not play in the Olympics. You will come to the airport with Team USA and you will say you don't have the right to enter the territory to go to your home. You're Cameroonian and you're American. You're not French. Go away. Let's see here. What else he says here? The Knicks first-round pick from 1999, who never played for the franchise, is not pleased with how Embiid recruited and ultimately decision to play out. Embiid, a Cameroon native, Wade playing in the Olympics for the United States and France before deciding in October he would rather suit up for the Americans. He said he would never chose Cameroon as a country already qualified for the Olympics at the time of the decision. France granted Embiid citizenship in 2022, despite having never lived, although he speaks the language fluently. French Basketball Federation President Jean-Pierre Souet and General Manager Boris Diaw both told the outlet, Embiid told them multiple times during the 21-22 season, he intended to play for France. An allegedly leaked letter from Embiid to French President Emmanuel Macron stating he intended to play for the National League and surfaced recently, according to European Hoops. Joel said to us and said he would play international basketball. He said he wanted to win. He said he wanted to play for the France and he wanted to win for the France. Dial told the Athletics. What else is on here? Let's see. Why seemingly had issue with Embiid being granted citizenship and then leaving France in the dust. We must put in context one thing. Joel Embiid is extraordinary basketball player. He was the MVP of the NBA last year, and that's why the France decided to give him the passport last summer because of the sporting level he would have amazing games. We said according to the European Hoop.net, for me, we are living in an era of sports business, and now we are choosing the national team pretty much the way we're choosing our club. Who gives me the better offer? Who gives me the better chance to win? I will go there. Unfortunately, that accepted pretty much everywhere. Weiss was drafted with the 15th pick in 1999 NBA draft by the Knicks as a fan's clamor for them to take St. John's star Ron Artest. Weiss never played a game in the NBA and will forever be known as forgetting the vicious dunk by Vince Carter in the 2000 Olympics. He was still he's still optimistic about France's chances without Embiid. Just remember what happened in 2021, where he said of United States gold medal 87-82 win. We were in the finals against the U.S. and the final margin was close. France was always the top echelon of the contenders. Mo, what should they do about Embiid?
La France. La France. Sacre bleu, monsieur. Sacre bleu, monsieur. I don't understand why he did this to France. I'm a French fanatic. Outside of the U.S.
Let me ask you a question. So they just gave him a passport for 2022 because he wanted to play basketball for him, or because he wanted citizenship to be French, to be French. What do you think happened there?
Oh, they were definitely making a deal with the devil there. They were trying to get him to get his passport so he would play in 2024 for France because what you call it? Because the Olympics are in France. So yeah, they were making a deal with the devil, and the devil lost.
So now my question is this right here: if they gave him a passport in 2022, and he grew up in France, escaping Cameroon, to live his life. If you watch the story, it tells you the whole thing. I'm just trying to figure out what took him so long to give him the passport.
Because even in the United States, because it was in the U.S. In the U.S., you don't need another passport.
Well, he needed a passport for France to have French citizenship, more or less.
Well, yeah, if he didn't want to go through the U.S., a U.S. passport can travel through France.
Right.
So the only thing they wanted that one so he could have dual citizenship.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. He got dual citizenship now because he's a citizen in the United States.
Probably has three because he probably has Cameroon too.
Yeah. When I first heard about it, I was like, yo, I remember him saying he's gonna play for France. And now he turns his back on France. And now they're mad about it. So that gives them extra motivation to be extra motivated to play against the United States in the Olympics. Curry, what's your thoughts on Embiid? And do you think he was right for doing what he done?
They look at him as an icon, I guess, and they kind of took him at his word when he said he was going to play for them, and they probably, I'm sure they're excited about this thing, and so ain't no telling what kind of advertisement or money was spent or whatever in preparation to get him to play for France, and then when he decided he would change his mind, I could understand them being upset and saying things about him that probably wouldn't normally say about him. But if he made a commitment, I don't care if it was verbal or written, to play for France, I personally think he should go ahead and honor his words.
Okay. Matthew, what's your thoughts?
I feel like Embiid did what he felt was best for himself. Because with the NBA, there's a lot of international players. And when it comes to Olympics, some of these athletes got to make the decision: do I want to play here or do I want to play for my homeland? And it's one of those tough decisions because you don't know if you're going to get criticism from your homeland or where you're currently at. That's like if you look at the Toronto Raptors. There's a whole lot of options within that table. Like, do I want to play for Canada or do I want to play for the United States? When it comes to the Olympics, that might play in. Like, for example, let's say a player plays for the Raptors, but they don't play for Canada in the Olympics. That may cause the Raptors to trade that player that following season.
Okay. All right. Dana, what's your thoughts?
Well, I throw this question at you. You don't want to keep rah-rah for these out-of-country players, international players. They keep switching up on their countries. You know they want to play with the big boys. You know they want to play with the big boys. Why be, you, Kev, this is your topic, really, because you the one want the international players against the homegrown players. And they're showing you that they don't want to play against them. They want to be on the same squad.
But Dana, that's a different animal from what I talk about when it comes to European players. I'm just saying that I think he's wrong for this. I really do. If he gave them his word, then he should stand by his word.
But yeah, when you do, your word is bond. Your word is bond.
Right.
Your word is bond.
Do I think Embiid can be a Hall of Famer? Yes, I do. Will he be a Hall of Famer without a gold medal? Yes, he will. So I don't think the gold medal solidifies him as far as his career and his goals, his accolades going forward will do. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I think Carmelo Anthony gets in the Hall of Fame because he has 3 gold medals. I don't know if his career with the Denver Nuggets or whoever else he was with gets him in the Hall of Fame. He's a great player, but without and he won the title, he won a national championship as playing with Syracuse. So I don't know if all of that gets him in without those gold medals per se for Melo. I like Melo, but I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer without those medals. You know what I'm saying? So with Embiid, I think it doesn't really matter if he gets a medal or not. I think that if he can stay healthy and his career can progress, he gets another MVP here or there. I think he's a shoo-in for a Hall of Fame. I don't think the gold medal makes a big difference for him as far as getting individual accolades. But my thing is, your word is your bond. And so as a man growing up and you got kids, you're going to say to them, you got to be true to your word. They're going to come back and say, well, Dad, you wasn't true to France. You said you want to play with the United States. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, France ain't too far away from being as good as the United States is. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to Olympics, I think the United States sees France in the quarterfinals and the finals of the Olympics. I think it's the gap is getting closer, and the gap is closing and closing faster and faster for the United States to get the gold medal. But we'll see this summer how that pans out. But I'm just saying, I think you're your word is your bond. And when Embiid said he's going to do that, he should have stayed pat. Now, 2028 come around, he can go play for he can play for the United States then if he wants to, but he owes it to France to play for them this year. That's just my personal opinion. But I just give France more motivation to not get blown out, to play them as tough as they possibly can play them, and you got the FIBA rules where you can grab the ball off the rim and all kind of things. It's a little different. So we'll see how well this goes. What time we got? We got like 45 minutes left. So real quick, Kirk Cousins. There could be some tampering going on with him and the Falcons. So the Falcons could lose some draft picks if they find out that there's some tampering going on with him prior to the free agency signing of Kirk Cousins. And Atlanta can't afford to lose no draft picks whatsoever because they need every draft pick they can get because they got so many holes that they need to fill. So this is going to be an ongoing story coming up soon, guys. So look out for that one. Next up. So Mo, I've been working for you for 20-some years. We build a relationship. We agree to disagree sometimes, but we agree on some things too. But we disagree as well. So I go to, I'm leaving you, right? Because I did my time with you. I'm going to look for another job. I go look for another job.
Who is Bill Belichick?
And it comes out and they tell me, oh, we don't, we're not going to hire you. And I'm like, well, I got a resume. I got 6 Super Bowls. I know how to make everybody do their job. No players has complained about me but one.
Why you gotta put this on me? Why you gotta put this on me? Why I gotta call you a cheater?
Why? Because I gotta do this. But I can make your team better because I can build a team around us with managers and offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, the whole 9 yards that can take over when I step down, that put you in a better place than what you are right now. But I'm sorry, I can't hire you because your boss told me you're hard to work with. How can Kraft blackball Bill Belichick like that from not getting that job with the Atlanta Falcons? I'm so confused on this one.
You ain't confusing.
Talk to me, Mo. Talk to me, Mo.
Who's the one person that never gets credit for the Patriots winning?
The coach?
Robert Kraft. They give it to Belichick. They give it to Brady. They never give it to Kraft.
Because Kraft ain't playing.
So he's the one that paid everybody, though.
Okay, that's his job.
He's the one that had a great relationship with Tom Brady. I don't think Belichick would have been the one that said, "Hey, Tom, I need you to be good. I need you to be good every year. Just stay here." You think it was Belichick, or you think it was Kraft saying, "Hey, I'm gonna make sure I take care of you"?
I think that Belichick didn't really care about contracts. I think he cared about contracts, but that wasn't in his hand. His hand was more into be general manager of player personnel. I don't think the money part of it was part that he dealt with. I don't think Kraft went to him and said, "Hey, I'm gonna pay this player X amount of money. What do you think?" Nah, I think you need to pay him more. No, you can pay him less. I don't know if Belichick was in that deep with him.
I think so because he traded a lot of players, like Richard Seymour. He traded players that were right at the edge, or didn't re-sign players that looked like they probably need to be re-signed. He did the smart way. I'm not saying he did anything wrong because they won 6 champions. But what I'm saying is, the man was hard to do.
The man was hurt.
He was all about himself.
He was all about himself.
He on the NFL Network
He on the NFL Network
during the NFL draft.
during the
He's this
NFL draft.
dog in
He's
front of the
this
computer,
dog in front
showing
of the
that I
computer,
can do this
showing
better
that
than
I can
everybody
do this
else
better than
without
everybody
anybody
else.
else.
Without anybody else.
That tells you the
That tells
ego
you
of that dude
the
was
ego of
huge.
that dude was huge.
So
So it
okay,
felt so
what's
good
wrong
to
with
see
that?
him
So it
fall.
felt so good to see him fall.
But so let me ask you a question.
My team has been terrible for the
If
last
you're
2
Team has
years.
been terrible for the last 2 years.
if you're winning, right?
I ain't been winning the last 2 years.
I ain't been winning the last 2 years.
I
No,
paid this man $10 million per year.
$10
He
million
gave me
per
nothing.
year. He
Right.
gave me nothing.
and
I could be Robert
he's out
Kraft
of there,
because
right?
I hate Belichick.
Because I hate Belichick.
But my question is right here. Anybody on this panel right now, other than Tom Brady, tell me one player that ever said that they didn't love playing for this man.
The last couple of years, guys didn't even show up. Guys were late to the bus.
Guys were late to the bus.
That's been terrible the last couple of
Okay,
years.
Butler would say that.
It's time ran out. Why you have players that leave, they trade away, and they come back and sign a free agent. Willie McGinnis went back and played for the man, right? A couple other players went back and played for him. I have not heard one player say.
Wait a minute. Did they go back and play for him, or did they go back and play with Brady?
Well, they had to deal. They had to deal with the coach. And again, I have any. If there's any, I need somebody to tell me one player other than Tom Brady that has something negative to say about Belichick. Because what I'm hearing from some players is like, "Yo, his game mind is all that. He may be hard to deal with."
Samuels.
Who?
Asante Samuel said that it wasn't Belichick. It was Brady.
It was Brady that's what?
That helped them win those games. Belichick didn't do nothing but get in the way. You can check this out now. You could go on it was the pivot. I think the pivot last year when he was on the show with Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor and Shannon Crowder. And he was Asante Samuels right now. No, Belichick wasn't it.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, Dana. But again, I'm not hearing no player when he didn't get the job in Atlanta because Kraft went and talked to Arthur Blank and said, "Yo, he's not the dude for you." Right? Only thing I heard was players come out and say, "Yo, he's a great coach." I haven't heard not one player other than Brady talk bad about this man. Right? Wow. Now his tactics may not be the best, but his results are you win by any means. Just win, baby. Just win. You know what I'm saying? Just do your job and we'll be okay. Now, has he cheated? Probably so. Has Tom Brady cheated? Yes, he has. And we're going to talk about some cheating he did in a few minutes. Right? But they say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Right? But you can't get caught. But my thing is, if he was that bad of a coach, why didn't he let him walk sooner? If he was that bad of a coach, he could have said, we have the rights to you right now. We're gonna trade you to somebody that we're not gonna deal with at all during the season. But Kraft said, no, you've been good enough that we're gonna let you walk and you go where you want to go. And we're still gonna pay you. So I'm confused on the scenario of Kraft going to Blake and off the blank and telling him that he would not be a good fit for them guys. Now, is it because the team's a young team that they couldn't adapt to what have the game passed him by? Would it be a more mature team? Because I think that he's going to find a job next year. It may be Dallas, it may be the Eagles, it may be somewhere else, but I think he's going to be coaching again next year because he has that it factor. But for the owner to come out who got caught in a brothel, and the only thing he got was snap on the hand, I don't know how much I can trust what he say. But again, him and Arthur Blank are really good friends. But for that to come out, and I worked for you, Mo, for 20 years, I'll be hurt. I'll be hurt because even though we may have differences, I've worked for you for 20 years. We probably ate dinner together. We probably hung out together. You know what I'm saying? We did a whole lot of things together. And all this time, you didn't like me but you used me to get what you want. And now that I want to get what I want, you don't want me to get it. I ain't happy.
I don't blame you.
And if I'm Belichick, I'm pissed off about it. Anybody got comments on that one?
I don't like you.
Yeah, I like to come in on that.
Go ahead.
I look at that from two different ways. First off, if Kraft told Oscar Blank what he said, then my problem would be more with Oscar Blank so much more so than it would be with Robert Kraft, because if I call you up and ask your opinion on a person, I trust your opinion, and there's only 32 owners in the league, so there should be a bond there that if I tell you something or ask you something, you don't repeat it. So, now that's my first take on that. But as far as saying that he's hard to get along with, I can believe that, because with as much winning as he's had, success, there is a certain bravado that he's going to have, and I'm pretty sure that he was probably one of those people that's hard to get along with. Some of his students were the same way. Give you an example. Brian Flores, when he was in Miami, 2 back-to-back winning seasons, but they say he was hard to get along with, and just couldn't relate to players, and he couldn't get along with his other assistant coaches. So that's kind of coming off of the Belichick way of doing things. So I can understand that, but I would be more upset at Arthur Blank than I would be at Robert Kraft.
Okay, so let me read what it says here. Robert Kraft's a big part of why blindsided Belichick lost out on the Falcons' job. ESPN published Wednesday about Belichick's failed pursuit of new head coaching job with the Patriots. Owner called Falcons owner Arthur Blank to warn him not to trust Bill after Belichick part ways with New England. One sources of ESPN, Kraft was a big part of why the Falcons passed on 72-year-old Belichick and hired Raheem Morris instead. 72, that kind of makes me say, he almost at 80. You know what I'm saying? He's 8 years away from 80. I don't know if he might be a good fit for me. But if I bring him in, I need him to bring in younger guys that if something happens to him, they can take over and they can keep the boat rolling in the right way. When Blank and the Falcons brass ranked their top coaching candidates, none of them even had Belichick in the top 3. Belichick missed out on the Falcons coaching job after parting ways with the Patriots. He was essentially voted off the island. Source close to the Falcons hiring process told the website. Belichick was said to be blindsided by not being hired as the new Falcons coach after believing he was getting a job. This came after Belichick insisted that Blank he was not looking to become a coach or general manager hybrid like he was a majority of the 24 years run in the Foxborough. So he was going to give up the general manager. He's just going to be the head coach. Belichick first had one-on-one chat with Blank aboard Falcons owners $180 million super yacht in Iguana on January 15th, and Blank came away from the meeting thinking this is my guy. Sources close to Belichick told ESPN. 4 days later, Belichick met with several members of the Falcons front office and Blank's home near Atlanta. Then Blank spoke to Kraft, Blank's closest friend among NFL owners, according to ESPN. The two spoke at least twice. Kraft told Falcons owner, "You'll never have a warm conversation with Belichick," he reported and said. Won't have a warm conversation. I'm just here. I'm here to win games. Kraft found Belichick to be extremely difficult and abstain and kind of stubborn, and in the end, not worth his trust. Of source close to Kraft told ESPN, and also very, very arrogant. If you win 6 Super Bowls, you can be arrogant. The same sources told the outlet that Kraft and his son Jonathan, the Patriots president, felt betrayed by Belichick. Falcons owner Arthur Blank met. Okay, I read that part already. Let's see where I'm at. Previously reported in January, the tension between Belichick and Kraft grew to the point that the coaches waited so long to bench struggling Mac Jones in the past season as FU Kraft. The Patriots finished the 2023 season at 4-13. Belichick worst during the 24 seasons with this ain't got nothing to do with let's see here. Belichick after Robert Mitchell Green Park ways. Also supposed to there's a grab from okay. So I think 2 things happen here. I think 1, Kraft don't want to see him get that record, which your boy has, Dana and Curry, Don Shula, the most winning games. And 2, Mo, you're a Yankee fan. Did Dave Martin and Reggie Jackson get along?
Billy Martin.
Billy Martin. They get along?
Yeah.
Did they fight?
Billy Martin got fired 6 times by the boss, George Steinbrenner.
No, I didn't get to that part yet. Did him and Reggie Jackson get along?
Wait a minute. Billy Martin is the only man to ever get fired on the same day he got hired. And when we introduced him, Billy Martin said something to George Steinbrenner saying, "You're fired again." It's like you just. Okay. Sorry.
So my question was, did you
what he didn't get along with was George Steinbrenner. Now Billy Martin didn't get along with George Steinbrenner, but George Steinbrenner saw something in him that he would keep hiring him back. Although he would keep hiring him, he loved the guy's work. Obviously,
that's my whole point. They didn't get along, but he fired him, hired, and he won World Series with him. Right?
Yeah.
Did Jimmy Johnson and
if you look at this thing, you look at this with Belichick and Kraft, and you mentioned his resume, but you also got to put the last few years of his resume on there too. What has he done since Tom Brady left?
Wait a minute.
Tom Brady since he left Belichick. You got to add that to his resume too.
Exactly. You got to put the years before Brady. That take away Brady.
So okay, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm not disagreeing with you guys on that the last 2 years, but apparently he said something to Arthur Blank that Arthur Blank said, "This is my guy. This is my guy." Before he even talked to Kraft, this is my guy. Arthur Blank, Belichick said something to Arthur Blank that said, "Yo, this is the guy I want to hire. This is the guy I want to hire." Until he talked to Kraft. With any great person that does what he does, there's going to be a downfall.
He's been right since he went down there. About 6 minutes ago, game 1.
Red Auerbach, right? He got what 11 titles with Bill Russell and them boys. Had one player on the team, Bill Russell. If you don't know this, Bill Russell never practiced. He sat next to Red Auerbach and he drunk tea, right? One player said, "What makes him so special that he don't have to practice?" And Red Auerbach said, "What other team do you want to play for other than us? Because you don't come and talk and telling me what I'm supposed to be doing." You know what I'm saying? So he was arrogant to get along with, right? So I think you substitute certain things for certain things. If your job is to win football games and win Super Bowls, Belichick did that. Now the last couple of years he hasn't done that, right? But is it because he don't have Tom Brady? It could be a possibility. It could be a possibility. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think you give him the benefit of the doubt, because if he was off the blank sky and then Kraft went and said something to him, now I'm a little pissed at Kraft, because I want to know what Kraft actually said to him, that he's arrogant. Okay, Kraft, you're arrogant. You got caught in a brothel, right? And you get slapped on the hand. Was Belichick, and Belichick's single, right? He ain't even married. So he devotes his whole life to football. Have he heard any negative stuff about him outside of football? Not that I know of. And I hate the Patriots. I hate the Patriots, but I respect him. I don't like Belichick. I mean, because if Cleveland would have never moved to Baltimore, he'd probably still be the coach of the Browns right now. He would have went through 20 different coaches because of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, though, I just think
You wouldn't have Tom Brady though.
no, we ain't need Tom Brady. We wouldn't need Tom Brady. We just would have needed a quarterback. We would have needed a quarterback. So going through 30 quarterbacks to find one good quarterback. So I'm just saying, though, that's just my take on that, man. I get it, but I don't get it, because I'm telling you, he's gonna be coaching next year somewhere. It's gonna be Dallas or it's gonna be Philly, depending on how they end up in the season. He's gonna be at one of those two places. I truly believe it. I truly believe it. And he's already said he don't mind just being the head coach. He let somebody else be the general manager. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying, okay, I'm willing to give up something to go somewhere else and coach, to prove to you that I can coach. Now, if I'm interviewing him, I think that he's all in it just for the wins and not to get to the top of the mountain, then maybe I don't want him as my coach. But I think that is important to him to get to that plateau, but also his plateau to win the Super Bowl without Tom Brady, so he can say he did it without Tom Brady. Just like Tom Brady said he could do it without him. Getting to Tom Brady now. Dana sent me this article. Report Tom Brady allegedly has cheating scandals with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And basically what this dude did was he did side bets. Well, not side bets, but I don't know if you want to call it bets or let's say payoffs. He told the guys, I need you to block longer, or I'm gonna give you some money. Once you do, if you just hold the screen, so we get this first down, I'm gonna give you some cash money. So my question is right here. If you getting cash money, how do you report that to the IRS? Anybody know? Got any ideas? So it says right here, Brady took our starting offensive line to the side, and he said, and he's like, hey, if you guys can get a screen to go for more than 15 yards, I will give you $1,000 cash. So he's paying them on the table. Now, is this any different than what Sean Payton did in with the Saints? Is there a difference?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big difference.
But what's the difference?
Sean Payton
tried to do what?
They're getting hurt. They're trying to get people hurt. Taking them out of the game. Brady was just trying to make sure that we get 15 yards. Yeah, say let's break somebody's legs so we can get 15 yards.
So let me ask you a question. Is there a difference in giving a guy a Rolex watch or give him $1,000?
No, there's not.
So how do we report? Because that's income, right? That $1,000 income, ain't it?
It ain't income. It's a gift.
Yeah, it's a gift.
Yeah. I think you can do up to $10,000 as a gift.
I don't know. Dana, that's some homework for you to find out what you can give.
How about this? You give me $10,000, we'll figure it out.
Well, the thing about it is that I think it's $6,000, because when you take it to the bank, anything over $6,000, I think, or maybe $10,000, you have to report it. You have to say where you got the money from. So if you hit the lotto for $10,000, you gotta tell them that's what you got it from. But I think anything underneath that, you don't have to report it. So again, let's say he gave him $1,000 a game. That's $17,000. He got to report it somewhere. He's giving the money. Dana, what's your thoughts? So you brought this up. Talk to me.
I think nothing's wrong with it. Like you said, it's like a gift on the table. It's like a side bill. But it's just like a good deed. He rewarded him for a good deed. Like you said, what's the difference? Like you said, what's the difference between the Rolex and $1,000? Don't the Rolex cost more?
Yeah, but you don't have to report the Rolex. You got to report that money because it's considered income.
Yep.
But it's $1,000. I thought it was over 10,000 we had to report it.
I'm just. Is $18,000 now? Okay.
The IRS allows every taxpayer to give $18,000 to an individual recipient in 1 year.
Okay, so he played. So they play 18 games, and then they played in the playoffs, and they won the Super Bowl. So that's over 18 games. So he gave him $1,000. So that's
can't give it to him in the playoffs because they get paid in the playoffs.
Well, how you know he ain't paying him in the playoffs too?
Hey man. His wife left him. I feel sorry for Tom Brady.
Oh man, I ain't worried about the wife thing. I ain't worried about the wife thing right now. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And where the article at? The thing about it is they say
I hate Belichick. I don't hate Brady.
Who told on Tom Brady though? It had to be a player. Oh yeah, Ali Marcus.
It was one of the offensive players that said it.
No, well, it was Giselle.
Yeah, one of the linemen.
Yeah, she won all his money, even though she made more money than him. It was Giselle.
Ali Marcus.
Yeah, I can't find the article right now, but yeah, he told on him. Now let's see what because then they said there's nothing. They probably won't nothing happen to him, but they're going to have a conversation with him about that situation going on with him.
Leave Tom Brady alone.
Well, you want to send me the article. You know I was going to talk about it.
Yeah. No. I'm saying though. I'm like, they brought up cheating scandal. And I'm like, okay, we kind of don't like the incentives to do good. I think you're gonna do incentives to do good, not to hurt anybody.
Okay. So let me see. We got about 15 minutes left, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about this real quick. Y'all guys, there was an article that's posted on the page about Wemby winning Rookie of the Year, and I went with Chet. You know what I'm saying? And some people was, you see, this is what some people don't understand. When you debate about sports, it's not an argument; it's a debate. But the thing about it is, because it's my opinion, you can't tell me I'm wrong because that's my opinion. Like I can't tell you you're wrong because your opinion. So when I broke this down to a few people, and I asked them, I said, "Yo, come on the show on Monday. Let's talk about it." They don't show up because they want to be Facebook bullies on there and think they know everything. But everything I gave them on Facebook was facts. It was no my opinion this and my opinion that. It was all about facts. So I'm not taking nothing away from Wemby for doing what he did. I think he's going to be an outstanding player. But tell me that winning doesn't matter. You come in the league and you have one less win than you had last year, but you're going to make Rookie of the Year. Chet, who played for Oklahoma, who has the #1 seed in the West, and they went from 42 games to 50-some games, so it was almost a 17 game turnaround because Chet is playing on a team. They say SGA should be in the running for the MVP, but that's the reason why they are who they are. You can't compare Chet's numbers to Wemby numbers because Wemby shoots more than Chet. But again, my thing is, if you're going to award somebody something, and I'm not taking nothing away from Wemby, like I said, again, I think he's going to be a great player. And I'm not big on second-year players getting the MVP, getting Rookie of the Year because we've had that happen Blake Griffin set out 2 years and came back and got the MVP. I mean, got Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons set up a year. Everybody the Sixers picked set out a year and got the Rookie of the Year award the following year. The only problem I have with that, guys, is that even though you're not playing, you're still with the team. So your body and your mind is getting prepared for the next season. Like you go on the trips with them when they go out west, and when you got to play 3 games in a row or 2 games in a row and skip a day and then play another game, you're with them. You may not be playing, but your body mentally and physically is getting prepared for that. So you're a step ahead of any rookie that's coming in because they never did it before. That's the only problem I have with guys that did that and became Rookie of the Year, because they can perform at a better level because they've already been at those places. As far as them traveling, like going to Denver, they already know what it feels like to go to Denver and the Mile High Stadium, and they'll do something to help them with the wind, the air being so thin up there, whatever the case may be, however it is, that they get the chance to do that. Chet kind of got the chance to do that last year, right? But again, I'm not taking nothing away from Wemby. But how you going outright just get this guy Rookie of the Year when they had one less loss than they had last year? And I don't think, does anybody here think that San Antonio was tanking this year? Because Wemby played in almost every game. I think he played in 80-some games this year, 81 games, something of that nature.
Yeah.
But my only issue is that when you're a rookie and you come into the league and you turn your team around and you become a better team, then I think the award should go to you. If you're looking at the stats of it, okay, fine. But at the end of the day, it's about winning games. Has anybody heard anybody ever get drafted in any sport says, I'm coming in here and I'm gonna lead the league in rebounding, or I'm coming in the league and I'm gonna lead the league in rushing, or I'm coming in the league and I'm gonna have the most shots with a hockey puck, or I'm coming in the league, I'm gonna lead the league in most goals playing soccer. I'm gonna come in the league and I'm gonna hit the most home runs. I've never heard nobody come to the league and say that as a rookie. I heard him come to the league and say, I just want to help my team win championships, right? That's the first and foremost they say. Then as you talk to them, they say, well, I think I can contribute this, or I can contribute that. And that was my whole point, was that you don't hear guys come in saying the league, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They just go out and do it. And I think sometimes people, we can pull up a stat right now that makes no sense at all about NBA players. But because they sit there, they got somebody sitting there and saying, yo, find a stat for this. Find a stat for that. Find a stat for that. I sat down here and I looked at rookies from 2000 to 2023. And all these rookies I'm going to name, all of them played 82 games or more. Mike Miller, Paul Gasol, Amir Stoudemire, Blake Griffin, Damian Lillard, Andrew Wiggins, Karl-Anthony Towns, Tim Duncan. And the list goes on and on and on. These guys play 82 games. These are guys that won Rookie of the Year. They play 82 games. Now, out of those guys, Mike Miller's team is a team that improved by 2 games. Paul Gasol was with the Grizzlies when they was in Vancouver. They improved. They went from 23 games to 28 games, right? Damian Lillard, before he got there, they went from 28 to 33. Wiggins went from 16 to 29. Townsend went from 29 to 31. And Tim Duncan team went from 20 games to 56 games. Larry Bird team went from 29 wins to 61 games. Rookie of the Years. To me, that's a mark of a rookie that comes in and changes the game around, changes the team around. And people will say, well, Bird had Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, but Kevin McHale was a rookie, and Kevin McHale didn't come into the year after Bird got in the league, okay? And I think Robert Parrish came in the league when Bird got there, right? Because Cedric Maxwell started in front of Kevin McHale, or maybe Kevin McHale was coming up, because I can't remember exactly how it all went down, right? But you had 2 rookies and a guy never played for the team together, and they gelled. And Bird won Rookie of the Year. Tim Duncan had at the Admiral, who was hurt at part of the year that he came in, but they won 60-some games. So I'm just saying that everybody want to praise his numbers, but his numbers don't equate to wins. And that's, to me, that's more important than accolade, because the accolade, you're going to get them if you play long enough. You're going to get the accolades, right? You're going to get those. The accolades is just to help you get to that next level, getting that gold jacket or get to the Hall of Fame. But when it comes to a team sport, it's all about winning, right? So to me, what's more, when people give me stats, I don't care. I don't care about stats when it comes to sports, to team games. Dana's known me for the longest time. I've never sat here and said to Dana about how many triple doubles that any Boston Celtics have ever had. I talk about wins as a team. I don't talk about individual. I don't talk about individual stats, because it takes a team to win. You know, so I'm like, I get it, but at the same token, I don't get it, because again, it's a team game. If you're an individual and you play tennis, if you play tennis, if you run track, if you're a bowler, if you're a boxer, it's offense against defense. So that's why I tell people all the time that Serena Williams will always be my #1 athlete, because she can do it on both ends. You know what I'm saying? And my next athlete is Jim Thorpe, because he ran track. You know, my top 5, I don't think I have a football or basketball player, or more so football, basketball in my top 5. My greatest top 5.
Yeah.
But again, my thing is, society's starting to worry about stats more than wins. And when you do that, then you're forgetting about the game. Like, ask Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, the list goes on and on. Would you rather have an MVP or a ring? And poor Charles Barkley gets the brunt of it every time they're on TNT about not having no ring. But he got an MVP. Would Charles Barkley still be in the Hall of Fame without the MVP? Would Charles Barkley still be in the Hall of Fame if he didn't win the title? Or what you think he would rather have? You know what I'm saying? And that's the point I was trying to get across to guys. Any comments? Anybody got any comments on this? Anybody think that I think wrong about this?
Every player wants to play. Actually played. And that's kind of the way they all want one thing. They want to be. Not everybody's going to get to the beginning. Everybody wants to actually try to play, be a winner.
Anybody else got comments? And the crowd goes silent. Right now, in baseball, you got the Pirates up on Milwaukee, Detroit up on Tampa, Atlanta up on Miami, Minnesota up on Chicago, Toronto up on Kansas, Arizona up on Seattle, and San Diego and Colorado is 0-0. Hey, Mo, why the Yankees play the game so early today?
Early game, 1 o'clock game.
Early game, 1 o'clock game.
Oh, it was a doubleheader.
It was a doubleheader.
Oh, okay. Phillies won 7-0. They're on the winning streak. That's 8 in a row. That's whatnot. 7 in a row now for Philly. So they have a game behind. Well, it's tied right now because they got 15 wins.
Also, that's St. Louis.
That's St. Louis,
not Seattle. That Arizona's playing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just said. Yeah, who did I say?
You said Seattle was playing Arizona.
I'm sorry.
It's St. Louis.
It's St. Louis.
St. Louis. Right. So, guys, that's the gist of the show tonight. We got about 6 minutes left. In the NBA, every home team has won. This has probably been the first time this ever happened. What team do you think can get the first road win in all the series? We're gonna go with Lou first. Who do you think? Who you think in NBA? Which NBA player? Which NBA team you think can get a road win first? Regardless of who plays what, whatever.
Well, the Wizards right now, the Pacers right now, they are being the next right now. I hope I'm wrong. It looks like they might get the first round of these playoffs. Yeah.
Okay. Matthew, who you got?
I got the Cavs getting the first road win. Just because right now they look just suspicious and their bench looks surprisingly good.
So is Cleveland playing in Orlando?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Orlando's in front of Cleveland. I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, then Cleveland. Wait a minute. No, that game's in Cleveland.
No.
That game's in Cleveland. Wait a minute. Let me look at something real quick. Yeah, it's in
Cleveland.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay. Mo, who you got? First road win.
Philly.
I hate Philly.
But it's gonna be Philly.
I don't know just yet. They playing good basketball right now. Dana, who you got?
The Lakers. Laugh now, cry later.
Curry, who you think that can get that first road win?
I think it's gonna be Boston, because I don't think Miami will win a game.
No. Who you think on right now? The teams that's on the road right now. Who do you think could get the first road win on the other team's court? Because all the teams right now, all the teams that's the top seed have won at home. None of them have lost. So who do you think would be the first team to have a lose at home? I lost at home.
Well, that's what I was saying. Did you say all the teams won?
All the home teams.
The home teams that won. So
So you think?
I don't think either one of those teams will get a win until they'll be 0-2.
Okay. So, Mo, given that thought that most teams, like Curry said, might go 2-0, how important is home court now compared to any other time before? And do you think there's a gap in the teams if every team goes 2-0 at home? Do you think there's a gap? I'm gonna say I think the Dallas Mavericks come back and play a better game than what they did against the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. They've been playing too good of a basketball not to compete at a higher level. And I'm really disappointed in them. But Mo, what's your thoughts on that?
I think the problem is it's the old adage that the series doesn't start until somebody wins on somebody else's home court.
Okay.
So because that means they all could go 7.
Do anybody see any sweeps going on? Anybody think any team gonna sweep? Gonna get a sweep?
Cleveland gonna sweep the Magic.
Okay.
Denver gonna sweep the Lakers, and Boston gonna sweep Miami.
Okay. Dana, I kind of agree with you on Cleveland. I think Cleveland has the know-how. Orlando's they're fresh to this thing. So that's why I don't think they even though their record is they're 47 and 35, they're a young team. So I think this is why I think they could probably get swept. I think the Lakers get swept. I just don't think the Lakers got enough to handle
Lakers win tonight.
You look at the Lakers and you see the Lakers gave them all they had. That's probably was one of the best games the Lakers had. And D'Angelo Russell has stepped up because in the games that he played against them, he's only averaging 7 points. So he's the key. He's the key to stepping up and making that game a better game. Hey guys, it's got 2 hours right here going on. So the show has to end at 2 hours because StreamYard is tripping on some stuff, and I need to talk to somebody. But anyway, I thank you guys for hanging in with me. Dana, sound good. Get that computer up and running so we can see, so everybody can see your beautiful face. They said the women said they want to see what Dana look like. They said they want to see sexy chocolate.
All right.
Sexy chocolate.
All right.
Sexy chocolate. Everybody that timed in on the live feed, I appreciate you as well. We're gonna see you next Monday as well. Again, guys, pray for those that need prayer. Just keep them in prayer, man. That's all we can do for those that need it, man. I tell you, life is so precious, and sometimes we take advantage of it, and we shouldn't. You should treasure every day that you're on this earth and living with your family and things of that nature. So, with that being said, man, we're gonna get on out of here. So I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of this Philadelphia game. It was tied at 55. I told you guys, I don't think they're gonna win. I don't think Philly gonna win, but we'll see how the thing ends up, man. Appreciate you. You guys take care.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K-Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart. Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville. You gotta be more careful, Remember, we throw stones and we don't live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games and stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.